Welcome back to my video. Thank you for tuning in once again. And as you can see by the title, we're going to briefly talk about, is the American dream still attainable with a 9 to 5? Okay. And this is something that just came to mind. It just popped in my mind. I was like, you know what? This would be a good topic to speak on briefly. So in retrospect, just thinking about everything, thinking about how, in the past when we were younger, we're taught to get a good education, go to school, get a good education, pick a good career, get a good job, buy a house, get a nice car, pay your bills, take care of your family, live happily ever after, the American dream, right? Enjoy, I guess, the luxuries of life or the things that you like. And for the most part, I guess that has been somewhat attainable. If we look at the generations, it appears that each generation has been able to excel a little bit more than the previous generation. And like I know I always tell my children, I've told my children, we always want to see the next generation do better than the previous generation. You know what I mean? And so take those necessary steps to be able to do so. But now we're looking at the state of the world. We're looking at the state of the economy. We're looking at everything. And it just does not appear that that applies at this point in time. And so, to me, this is my opinion, I feel as if from 2019 to 2020, around that time when everybody know what was going on at that time, it seems like now in 2024, we're in a totally different period, almost a totally different paradigm. There's been a shift. And so with that shift, we've also experienced the cost of living that is extremely high. Like, it was high back then, but now it just seems like it's crazy. Do y'all remember when eggs was like extremely high? Remember that period of time? Remember gas had got real high? Now, during that period of time, 2019, 2020, gas was so low because people were at home, working from home. Some people were furloughed. Some people, quit. Some people resigned. There was like a great resignation. There was a lot going on, right? So gas was low. Just all of that. Everybody was enjoying, stimulus checks and buying cars and different things like that. Now, when you see, I've seen so many videos of repos. I've seen yards where I guess the repo vehicles are housed at, where they actually do auctions full of just like brand new cars, trucks, SUVs. And it's because these people are unable to pay for those particular vehicles anymore. And you could say that people were living above their means because of, the cost of living was low at that period of time. Everybody was getting stimulus checks, and it just seems like it was an easy time at that point in time, aside from, people experiencing themselves and loved ones, health-wise declining because of what was going on at that time. But overall, it was a period of time for everyone to kind of come together, things stop a little bit for us to somewhat relax, gather ourselves. Now, some people had it rough, like I said, their job furloughed them or laid them off, and some people were like, what am I going to do? So some people have been having an extremely difficult time since 2019 and 2020, while others kind of enjoyed that time. And now we fast forward to 2023, 2024, it's like a totally different place. And say, for instance, when you take a look at the housing market, even apartments, rent, like, it has tripled. I remember back in 2004, had a 1-bedroom apartment. It was $435. Yes, $435. And I know some of you can relate to that, right? Whether it was 4 or 5, some people's rent was 3. And no, I was not on public assistance or anything. That was just the rent. It was $435 for a 1-bedroom, 1-bath. Okay. Now, when you look at a 1-bedroom, 1-bath apartment, $1,200, $1,300, $1,400, $1,500, $1,600, $1,700 on up, depending on where you want to live. If it's a luxury apartment, even just a regular old apartment in just a regular area. I ain't gonna say just the hood, but just the regular area. It's all right, right? They over here $1,300, $1,400, $1,500, $1,600, $1,700. And you're just like, what? And then you look at the housing market. If you're trying to purchase a house, I remember way back in 2009, 2010, when we were in the process of trying to purchase a home. It was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home. I think it was about 1,400 square feet, something like that, 1,500. It was a little small home, but it was a starter home, right? 3-bedroom, 2-bath. I'm trying to remember. No, yeah, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. You know, just a regular nice size. You know, I guess for a starter family, you have small children, you know, just getting on your feet, different things like that. But the home was like 145, 150,000, right? Now when you see homes, why are they 350, 400,000, 500,000? And like when I see these advertisements, like I was on Instagram and I saw an advertisement for a home, a realtor, and he was like, oh, this nice home and blah, 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 in this area for a good price of 550,000. I was like, a good price of 550,000? What job y'all think we do? Everybody ain't in that bracket. Everybody ain't on that 550,000. So what's the mortgage? 3,800? Like, what? Like, I still can't wrap my mind around it. I'm still stuck in like 2009, 2010, even like 2000, dude, probably 2017, 18, where it started to rise, and you may be able to find a home, 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath or something like that for maybe 250, 289, close to 300,000. Now these homes are definitely 350, 400, 450, 500,000. I'm just like, where? Why? $500,000 for just regular working people? Are you serious? Like, how many jobs are you supposed to have to be able to like afford this? So if you purchase the home, being that you qualify for the loan, the mortgage loan, and you know, you go through the whole process, how you supposed to pay your electric bill? How you supposed to pay your gas? How you supposed to pay the cable bill? How you supposed to pay for groceries? What you gonna eat? Hot dogs every day? Like sandwiches, noodles? Like this economy is so tripped out. It's just groceries. I remember back in 2004, for 2 people, just me and my husband, $60 will buy us 2 weeks worth of groceries. Now, 150 to 175. If you just kind of being frugal about it and not trying to do too much variety, or be like, oh, I want to fix this type of meal, or I want to do something different, or whatever it is, you can get a week's worth of a meal for about 160, 175, something like that, if you're really good at it. But if you want some pretty good groceries, about 200 a week. So 200 times 4, right? So you spending, how much is that? Like $800 a month on groceries? That's wild. That's like crazy. Like, I just can't get past that. And let me see what, like, my mind is just blown, but just trying to make sure I just hit my points. But that was just something that came to mind. Like, I just wanted to talk about that. Like, I saw a video here on YouTube where a guy was talking about how where he was working, it was mandatory for him to work, like, I think it was like 45, 50, 60 hours a week or something like that. And one of his coworkers was actually doing side jobs like Uber Eats and something else like that as well. And he was like, dude, like, we already work like 45 to 60 hours a week. How are you doing Uber Eats or DoorDash or whatever? And he was like, man, I gotta make it. Where I live right now, I went to, and I don't eat it a lot, but I went to go get some fast food, right? And the person at the drive-through was like, well, how's your day? I was like, it's going pretty well. A little tired, but, you know, glad the day is over. It was probably about 4 o'clock or whatever. And he was like, yeah, I got about 2 more hours and then I got to go to my next job. And then I get off at 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, wow. He was like, well, you know, cost of living. He was like, especially to stay here, you got to have at least 2 or 3 jobs. And I'm like, this is everybody. This is where everybody is at this point. And if you don't have 2 or 3 jobs, You more than likely work more than 5 days a week, and you work more than 40 hours a week just to survive. So everybody is stressed, everybody is anxious, everybody is unhappy. Well, let me not say everybody, a lot of people, because this is not where we want to be. And I feel like sometimes I sit here and think, and my mind goes into this rabbit hole, and I'm like, if we all sit here and be like the people in Canada, we all sit here and say we ain't paying mortgages, we not paying rent. If the prices of this food, we just gonna take it. Okay. It's more of us than them. I ain't inciting nothing, but I'm just telling you how my mind works. You know, something has to change. I don't know. What do y'all think is going on? Do you think it'll ever change? I don't even know where to begin. It's like we just headed into downhill into disaster, and every period, you have a rise and then you have a fall. And sad to say, it looks like America and just the world in general, it's look like they coming down the slope. So if this is the plan of what they wanted to happen, where eventually they just collapse the structure and then they build a new structure, some people say a new world order or whatever it is, this looks like they plans are right on track, because this is some crazy-ish. But tell me what y'all think about this topic. Leave it down in the comment section below. Peace.